Hello everyone, this is International Master Robert Jamieson from Kids Unlimited in Melbourne, Australia. And I'd like you to have a look at the position on the board at the moment. It's black to play. Would you rather be white or black? So maybe pause the video for a second, have a little think about it. Would you rather be white or black? Okay, this is from one of my games many years ago. I was playing white against the British Grandmaster Tony Miles. And one of the best ways to improve, of course, is to play stronger opponents and learn from them. So if you play someone who's better than you, try and have a post-mortem afterwards and go through the game and ask them what you could have done better or what you did wrong and see if you can pick up a few tips. So I thought I was going pretty well here as white. I thought I had the two bishops and more space. Maybe I have attacking chances with h5 at some stage. But 14 moves from now, I ended up getting my king checkmated on h3. So clearly Miles understood the position better than I did. So after the game, I said, Tony, I thought I had a good position here. What did you think? So he paused for a second and he said, I thought your king was a bit airy. So very interesting. I've thrown the pawns up in front of my king, and it is true, my king is a bit airy. It doesn't look like it's in danger at the moment, but perhaps in the future, as it turned out, having an airy king is not the best. So ever since that game, I've been teaching my students about what I call airy king syndrome. So that's going to be the subject for today's lesson. And to illustrate, I've chosen one of my online games played a few days ago against a reasonable player. Now, apart from airy king syndrome, I find that the thing that most average players do not understand is that they think chess is all about attacking instead of about building up your position. So when you combine your desire to attack with lack of understanding of airy king, the results can be catastrophic. Let's have a look and see what happens. So he's playing white. I'm playing the old Indian. A6. All right. Normally play bishop e7 and castles, but I thought I'd try and see what was going to happen on the queen side. So I played a6 with an idea perhaps of playing b5, getting some play on the queen side. He stopped me by a4, bishop e7, castles, and now I played a5. Perhaps in this position he could have considered playing a5 himself. That might be an okay move. Right, so what have I done here? I've created a hole on b4 and to a lesser extent a hole on b3 to give me a little bit of space. So we keep developing. Look there, queen out of the way. All right. So now, if white was a good player who understood about building up, I think he'd be playing sort of h3, so he can put his bishop on e3 without worrying about knight g4. Maybe move a rook across here or something, and he's built up a nice position. But instead he's doing something before perhaps he's quite ready. So he's thinking he has an opportunity, so he plays c5. All right, the computer wants me to play e takes d4, but I take on c5, and we have a bit of a swap off. And I've won a pawn, 3-6 extra pawn for me, but look, he has more space and he has two mobile pawns and attacking chances on the king side, so it could be a bit dangerous. Here he comes, he's chasing me away, opening up the queen's diagonal on h7. All right, what would you play here? Your knight's attacked. Where would you put it? Playing d7 is probably okay, but one strategy if you're being attacked and you have more material is, of course, to give some of that material back to try and blunt the attack. So I thought, oh, this could be a little bit dangerous, so I will give him his pawn back. He can now take on d5. If he doesn't take on d5, I have got a lovely knight sitting on d5, which is a much better square than d7. But he wanted his pawn back, so that's fine. Now I get a free developing move with the bishop. He goes back. Now he might be threatening f5. So I thought I'd play g6. All right, have a look at the position as white. What would you play here? Clearly, white has a little bit more space, but black is ahead in development. White hasn't yet developed his a1 rook or his c1 bishop. So white should probably play b3 and maybe develop the bishop out here or over here and then rook c1, something like that. But he wants to attack, so you'll never guess what move he played. g4. Here we come. This is scary. But look at his king. Very airy king, a bit like my king in the last position. All right, what to do? If he's going on the king side, I'm going for space on the queen side. And of course, he keeps coming at me. So I thought I'd give him a check, seeing his king so open. Now, where should he put the king? Because he put it on a terrible square. He should play king g2 is the best move. But then I probably play something like this. And if he keeps taking pieces, I can keep sacrificing pieces, and I've got queen, rook, and bishop going to chase his king around. And I think that's going to be pretty good for me. But he didn't play king g2. He made a terrible move, king f1. All right. Now, he's attacking my bishop. What do I do? Played a good move, but the computer said, Robert, there's a better move. You decided on your move? All right. The best move that I didn't see is queen c6. Naughty threat of mating one down here. He probably has to run away with his king or something. But instead I thought, oh, well, I will gobble this pawn and give him a free bishop. All right, now, of course, if he takes the bishop, his king is going to be super airy and terrible things are going to happen on f2. Looks like a total disaster. So he did not take the bishop. All right, now I took the pawn. So I think this is going great. His king is just so open. What should he do here? Maybe you should play rook e1 or queen e2, try and swap off, but he goes for the attack on the rook. And I thought, well, my position's so strong, his king's so open, who cares about the exchange? I'll gobble this pawn and open up his king a bit more. Takes, takes. And now he pinned the g pawn. I missed a good move here. I played h5 without much thought. Could have played queen f6, which wins the bishop, but it's no big deal. h5, because look at his exposed king and uncoordinated pieces. Bishop there, trying to save his bishop. All right, how to finish him off? c3 I decided on. Threatening pawn takes b2, and more importantly, opening up the c4 square for my bishop to check him. Takes, check. Ouch. Bishop there. Queen check. Ouch. King there. Rook check. And he gave up. Well, that was a bit of a disaster, wasn't it? So why did he lose so horribly? Well, A, he tried to attack, and B, he didn't understand about airy king. He threw his pawns in front of his king and suffered the consequences. Ended up being checkmated just as Tony Miles checkmated me. So put that in your memory bank of chess understandings. airy king syndrome. Do not throw your pawns in front of your king unless you have a really good reason to do so. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time.